This short video is going to show the basic procedures for tapping into a water supply made of PEC or polybutylene piping. Keep in mind that your installation may vary. The first step to this procedure is to shut off the main water supply. In this case, it's a city water meter. Next, after exposing the pipe after the meter, purchase at your home center a compression tee that has the 3 outlets all compression. In addition to the tee, you'll need a small piece of PEC or polybutylene piping and a compression male adapter. This adapter will have a compression on one side and male pipe threads on the other. You'll also need a PVC bushing that's got threads on the inside with a slip joint on the outside. This bushing will allow us to transition into PVC pipe. Prior to cutting into the main water supply, clean the pipe thoroughly. First, determine where you want to cut into the main water supply. Then make your first cut. Once you've made your first cut, use the compression tee as a measuring device, and then make your second cut. Push the compression tee over the one side of the pipe. Push until the O-rings are over the pipe and the fitting snaps in place. Expose enough pipe to be able to flex the other side into the fitting. Again, make sure the O-rings go over the pipe and the fitting snaps in place. Now with Teflon thread tape, apply several layers to the compression male adapter. Screw the PVC bushing onto the compression male adapter and tighten. It's not necessary to over-tighten these fittings. Over-tightening could cause damage to either the male adapter or the PVC bushing. Now you're ready to install the small piece of PEC or polybutylene pipe into the compression side of that male adapter. Then determine how high you want your irrigation piping and cut to length. Now install that last piece of PEC or polybutylene piping into the side outlet of that compression tee. Our next step is to take our irrigation side of this water supply from vertical to horizontal by installing a PVC elbow. You'll want to prime both the outside of the bushing and the inside of the elbow. Priming is important because it starts a chemical reaction to allow for the solvent weld. Apply a layer of cement to both surfaces. Install with a slight turn. Our next step is to install a manual shutoff valve, which allows us to isolate our irrigation system if ever necessary. Cement a ball valve onto a small piece of pipe. Then determine where you want the ball valve to be positioned and cut the pipe to length. Then we'll prime and cement the pipe to the elbow. This gives us our isolation valve. We recommend as a secondary protection a master valve. This valve will isolate the irrigation system if you were to have a valve failure downstream. The master valve will be electronically operated by the controller. Again, we're going to glue a small piece of pipe to this valve, determine where we want the valve positioned, and cut the pipe to length. Prime and cement and install your master valve. Prior to turning your water supply back on, reference your cement manufacturer's directions for proper drying time. This will conclude this video segment on tapping into a main water supply with PEC or polybutylene piping. Thank you for choosing do-it-yourself irrigation. And remember, if you want the job done right, do it yourself irrigation.